Welcome to this episode of the Plan Well and Conquer podcast. I am your host, Tish Bullard, lover of a great party, chronic list maker, and go-getter. In this episode, I want to encourage you to identify your natural gifts if you haven't already. I struggled for years to acknowledge my own gifts, and once I did a few exercises and quieted the noises around me, I saw my gift clearly. If this sounds like something you have been struggling with, keep listening. Friend, I have spent more than 2 decades questioning what my purpose was and what my gifts were, and if I would ever discover them. I will look at people around me that I perceived to have been walking in their gifts, and I'm talking about the gift that you can clearly see. You know, the person who sings extremely well, wins talent shows and competitions, and is always asked to perform during programs, events, and things like that. Or the person who could move really good and was an excellent dancer and went on to do great things and open the dance studios. You know who I'm talking about. Or that artist that is extremely creative, who is award-winning. The visual and audio professions are the ones where I would say, oh my gosh, they are super duper talented, and I don't do either one of those to the level to where people would walk up to me to do those things. So I would continually just search for my gift. And I wanted to believe that you're just born with a great gift and you just walk into your purpose naturally at a very young age to where you don't have to question whether or not you were gifted and you have something that you can share with the world. It wasn't until my 20s, after I got married, that I really wanted to know what I was good at. Will it be a specific career choice after graduating and getting advanced degrees? What is my secret sauce? And during my early 20s, I was definitely in the peak of my people-pleasing stage. I wanted the confirmations and the affirmations from other people to tell me what they thought I was good at so that I could have some type of direction on where I would go. Well, that really didn't happen that way. So I continued to just ask the question and thinking that it was going to magically appear or somebody was going to clearly lay out what my gifts were. I would go to church and I would just hope that someone pointed to me and told me what they heard the Lord say my gift was. I did this for years, seriously. I'm not in my 20s anymore. So close to 2 decades, I have been searching for what my gift is. So I would purchase books. I would look at magazines. I signed up with coaches. I searched everywhere. But it wasn't until I searched within myself. And each time I would do that, I would get the same answer. But I will look over and over all around for the answer because it's not exactly what I wanted my gift to be. So let me rewind a little back into my 20s when me and my husband got married. I was fresh out of grad school. He was very new in his law enforcement career. Our parents weren't wealthy, so our wedding was solely up to us with, a little help from family. And it was during that time that I really wanted to have a nice wedding. So I wanted to invite all of my college friends, but I needed to get creative. And that's when I discovered Hobby Lobby. Yes. And if you are familiar with Hobby Lobby, you know that that's a crafter's dream. So I discovered Hobby Lobby in the college town that I was in, and I just started to learn their sales schedule, and the rest is history. I made things, and I had the time to do it over the 2 years that I was engaged and I was in school. By the time of the wedding, we had a pretty decent wedding, might I add, although a lot of it was DIY, do it yourself. A month after my wedding, a family member called us and said, hey, we want you to do our wedding. We saw what you did with yours. We have a little bit of money, but we don't have a lot of money. Can you help us out? And of course, it was fresh on my mind. I had a great time doing my wedding, and I took on the challenge to do the family member's wedding. And oftentimes, you'll hear me refer to a borrowed computer. It was a big, chunky computer, might I add. Well, the bride wanted me to make invitations and programs and things like that. And when I did it for my wedding, I was working graduate work where I had access to a computer, and I needed a computer for this wedding So she let me borrow her computer to come up with the things that I needed to do. And just went forth, and I helped her with her wedding, and she absolutely loved everything about it. Now, I'll say I was pretty proud of the final product. And right before the end of her wedding planning session, I had a coworker stop by my office to enlist my help, and she referred me to one of her friends who was planning a wedding around the same time. Unbeknownst to me, I was doing weddings. I was in the wedding planning business. And then I had line sisters from my sorority that were calling me to do their weddings, to coordinate them or do some sort of creative aspect for their wedding. Their calling on me was leading me to a gift. I found something that I was good at, but I was still searching. I was still searching because I didn't think that could be considered a gift. To put together weddings and events for people and to see the big picture and be able to streamline it to where it can actually become a well-produced and beautiful event. I did not know that was a gift. And I'm going to be honest with you. I questioned myself over and over throughout the years trying to search for something that was already there. Later on, during my confused state, I would listen to those who would talk about finding a purpose in your gift. And one of the suggestions that stood out to me was to survey your friends. So I surveyed my friends and close people to me that, could tell me some things about me. And I was hoping from the results that I'd find something that was going to be groundbreaking. And then I could go ahead and shift all of my focus on what the recommendations of what their observations were about me. Guess what? It all led to me being creative and gathering people and putting on really great events. Oh my gosh, that was such a bummer to me because that's not what I was looking for. I did not want them to see that in me. The answers continued to come to me, and yet I was still questioning, what is my gift? Why am I here? And honestly, I can't tell you what answer I was specifically looking for. Later on down the road, and I am going to say maybe about 5 to 8 years ago, it hit me. I'm running away from the gift and the purpose that God has for me. I'm running away from events. I just didn't accept it. But to put on events and understand the protocol and the etiquette to making people feel good and comfortable, blending cultures together in one space to where everyone is happy, that is a gift. That is a gift to be able to see the moving parts of an event and delegate people who are capable to make things happen and making great connections with vendors. All of that is a gift. Everybody can't do it, although it's not rocket science, but you have to have a detailed makeup in your body to make a large event or even the smallest event come together to where everybody feels good and they don't feel rushed or they don't feel like you're wasting their time. They don't feel like you've missed key points that would have made them feel more welcome. So, less than 10 years ago, I started to realize that this is what I'm good at. And I'm always called on by organizations, by individuals, by companies to do some sort of event management and provide some form of hospitality services. Now, I am saying all of this to say, if you find yourself just as hard-headed as I was, this is where you have to tap into your inner self and not just look at the external resources around you to look for the answers, because the answer is going to lie within you. It's already there. And if you are seeking a particular answer, your inner gut will continue to bring you back to an area. You may need to entertain that. May very well be your gift. So do the mini assessment like I did. Survey friends, coworkers, and family members and see what they see you doing well. Just ask them what areas do they see you thriving in and what do they perceive your gift to be. And just listen to their responses, but don't be combative. Just welcome it in and hold on to the responses because they'll be very valuable to you when you continue your journey and then do your own self-assessment. Look and see what it is you're doing often. Is it cooking delicious meals or baking pies or cakes? Is it being one of the best people to clean or organize a space? Are you good at decorating spaces and Everyone is always complimenting you on how well you decorate, or is it styling pieces for yourself or for family members? You may be the one that they call on when some special occasion is happening, and you're always the beauty guru that is called on. Take heed to those things that you always do. Do you make all the cakes that you decorate for your kids' birthday parties or bridal showers? Or is it the cupcakes and the treats that you always make or are requested to make? If so, you may have found that your gift is around you and is lingering around you, whether you are acknowledging it or not. Pay attention to those things and write those things down. If you need to be very intentional for 2 to 3 days, just write down the things that you did throughout the day. And I'm guaranteeing you, you will see a pattern or a routine of things that you continuously do. Do you motivate people often? Does the people in your office or your organization always tend to come to you to be inspired? Do they bring their problems to you and they actively listen to your advice or your words of wisdom? Be aware that could very well be one of your gifts, friend, if not your main gift. Are you really good with writing and you're called on often to rephrase statements or create memos or write ads or letters for others? Take a look. That may be your gift. Are you one that is into health and fitness for yourself, and when others are trying to eat better, live better, and do better with their bodies, they tend to come to you for advice, and you always seem to be the one to help them? Take heed, friend. Your gift is lingering around you. Do you write poetry well? And you feel so good when you're putting pen to paper or you're typing out the words and you're feeling the words as they come from your heart and your mind? That may be your gift lingering. I hope that you're understanding what I'm saying. And when I started doing events early on, it was pretty much grassroots. It was just that my doors were open to anybody that needed an event done. I couldn't charge what I wanted to charge starting out because I was new at it. I would get discouraged and I would feel like, no, this is not a gift, because a gift will not make me feel like I'm failing. But as I continued to be called on and I started to educate myself, I started to network with others who were doing exactly what I wanted to do at my level and above my level. I began to be inspired to fine-tune my gift so that I could offer it to my ideal client. And once that happened, y'all, I fell in love with the event industry, and I fell in love with offering etiquette classes and resources to people. I felt amazing when I was considered to be one of the go-to people for hospitality services. I loved it, and now I am thankful to God for not giving up on me, because I was very hard-headed. He would have my gift follow me everywhere, but yet I was still looking for something else. I didn't even know what that was, but I was holding on to it, and now I know that I need to nurture it, and I am grateful for the doors that has been opened for me. In the Bible, it says that your gift will make room for you, and that is such a valuable statement. Your gift will make room for you, and that's what it will do. It won't happen by accident, though. I do not believe it'll just happen to you. You'll have to acknowledge what your gift is and the purpose for using it, which God doesn't want you to just use it for foolish reasons, right? But He wants you to use it to help someone enhance an area or to improve something. Your gift will make room for you. Now, this is probably where many of us get confused, because we think that our room for our gift is going to be beautiful. It's going to smell good. It's going to be already set up for us. No, we have to work. And there are going to be some days, some good days. There are going to be some bad days. There are going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some wins, and there are going to be some challenges. But if you know that this is one thing that you have been called on to do, and the Lord continues to show you that this is the area where He wants you to be a blessing to other people, you nurture your gift and you work towards your purpose, and make sure that you can touch one or more lives, and you will be able to overcome the challenges that come your way. You'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you have something great to work towards the next day. Friend, I hope that this helps you, and I am rooting for you, and I am also challenging you to assess yourself and identify what gift or gifts you possess, because you definitely do. And your purpose is right there in front of you. Don't always look for the outside sources to tell you what your gift is, because this is a gift given to you by God, the universe, or whoever you identify with. Your gift is for you. All right. If you want to chat with me, go ahead and shoot me an email at tish@tishbullard.com. You can go to Instagram. I'm over there at I am Tish Bullard. I look forward to chatting with you, friend. And I hope that this podcast episode was a blessing to you, because it was a blessing to me to realize that I needed to be grateful for my gift. And I hope that I inspired you in this episode. And until the next show, I want you to go forth, plan well, and conquer. Thank you for listening.